你看到了吗？这块儿，哎，它这块儿你翻出它的帽齿，就不知道是什么蘑菇，感觉好像是某种 Oyster Mushroom。
Gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. And I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of talking and the wind blowing in the trees. will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. I'm gonna let the past be filled with smoke, and I will try to fix what has been broken, and take this weight off my shoulders, 'cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay in the cold. I will listen to the ocean, let its unsaid words be spoken, and I'll let my mind be carried by the waves. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings.
上次忘了浇水了，只有一天没浇水就这样。那通常这个蘑菇的边褶是在朝下的时候最好。这题这么小就被我给说。
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. To myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Tired and lazy, the cute sounds you make while sipping your coffee. I know there's a world outside, but right now it's you and me, just you and me, baby. Roll out of bed, I love when you're hazy, rewatching Friends for the millionth time. Well, I know there's a world outside, but right now it's you and me, just you and me, baby. Yeah, I did my time, the ups and downs, but now life's been treating me kindly. Because of you, my life's not blue anymore, cause you are my baby. Don't go to work, we'll stay here forever. We'll dance around the kitchen, making breakfast together. I know there's a world outside, but right now it's you and me,